whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats stinging out, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And good evening, race fans. Welcome to Rockingham. This is the Turn 3 Racing Network bringing you the National Speed Association presented by V-Speed. Tonight's sponsor, Arts Barbershop. I am your host, Chris, and with me as always, my good friend, Rick. Rick, how are you tonight, bud?
Hey, brother, Monday is in the books. We're at the Rock, baby. I love this track. I miss this track. We're here with the National Speed Association, Arts Barbershop. I'm growing my hair out specifically so I can get my ears lowered this spring, bro.
Yeah, Arts Barbershop would like to congratulate the gentleman we have on screen right there. That's Justin McDuff and the 20 team for the win last week at Bristol. Located in north central Vermont, Arts Barbershop has been lowering ears for over 40 years. When he's away from the scissors, Art is often found at the local racetrack supporting his drivers. He can also be found in the Turn 3 audience rooting for the Arts Barbershop iRacing family of AJ Hamill, Justin McDuff, and the entire Empire Racing team. The next time you're near Morrisville, Vermont, stop by and get a trim. Rick, we've got some racing to do tonight, bud, and this is going to be a good one. 125 laps here at this famed 1 mile track.
It's going to be good here tonight, man. I mean, I love Rockingham. Rockingham's one of those, it's an old school track. It's really tough on tires. So we're going to have a good time here tonight, buddy.
Yeah, it's all going to be getting going here in about a minute and a half as practice is starting to draw to an end. Track temperature out there, about 92 degrees with an air temperature of 73, so really couldn't ask for much better.
I mean, compared to what we've been seeing there on iRacing the last couple of weeks, I mean, this is like the perfect setup right here, man.
Thunder Alley, The Rock. So many iconic races, so many iconic drivers have been on this track. Right now, just watching Todd Sargent as we draw even closer to the end of practice. About 40 seconds to go. Want to thank everybody who's tuned in tonight to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Again, we're watching the National Speed Association. Field right now looking like it's going to be about 22 drivers strong.
It's almost like a perfect size field right there, Chris. I mean, this track is big. We're going to have a good time here. It's almost a mile. And it's Rockingham, baby. I mean, everybody loves Rockingham.
Oh, yeah. Tommy Haynes coming out on track. 2 seconds to go, so not even going to get up to speed. And right back down pit road as he realizes the time. And we are going to get ready to go qualifying. Quick swap over. Track temperature jumps up to 99 degrees for this qualifying effort.
Yeah, it just dropped down back down to 90 on my screen though.
Yeah, it did. Man, it's all over the place.
I don't know what's going on. It's that old racing surplus, Chris.
Yeah. Yes, he's weathered and cracked. At 28, out on track. That's Calvin Allison trying to get his 28 up towards the front here in the qualifying session. A quick 5 minutes to do that. Plenty of time to get around this 1 mile track. Ooh, a little wiggly there. As he's heading on down the back stretch into turns 3 and 4, a little bit low, down onto the apron just a touch. And that really does let the car start floating up and now across the start-finish line. So Calvin Allison with his first lap of 22.047, and there's a lot of cars out there. Tommy Haynes, JJ Garrett, Jamie Christensen. And it just keeps coming in quick, fast, and in a hurry. Quick peek at the 03. That's Keith Dunn. Dunn trying to get himself up a little bit better than 6th spot. Cannot do it. Second lap, just a little bit slower than that first lap. Todd Sargent's taking away the pole from Calvin Allison. Yeah, let's check out Justin McDuff, last week's winner in Bristol. And right now, sitting on second place starting spot, 22.045. So only one driver has cracked into the 21s. AJ Hamill right now with a 6th place speed of 22.252. G18 heading into turns 3 again. Another driver getting a little bit low there. That transition is very harsh and it can upset a vehicle. Has to be careful. AJ Hamill keeps that 22.252. First lap faster than the second. Out on track now, it's going to be Jack Wells. Wells with a 5th place. Time 22.183. '57 of Adam Pettit.
Who gets way up there up against the wall, almost slapped it there, but able to hold on to it. One thing I noticed, Chris, during practice was a lot of these guys are slipping and sliding around. I mean, track was a little bit warmer then. Had it heads down, Thunder Alley, blowing her down. And Sargent, he just got a fast lap, man. I don't know where he found that speed, but he found it, man.
A couple of drivers out there just running laps, using the end of the qualifying session as a bit of a practice. Some notable names not qualifying for this one so far. Dalton Tucker, Wesley Whitfield, Jared Mogard, James McIntyre, Doug Wasaki, and a few others on that list. Charlie Widner.
You know, one thing about the Rock, Chris, I mean, it doesn't matter where you start, you're going to have some fun. A lot of these guys probably just want to try to, you know, they're a little bit worried about guys abusing their tires a little early and causing some stuff, so they want to be able to get around it. I'm looking at Bruce Potter right now. He's just sitting there on pit road, but he's one of those drivers that threw up those pink numbers there for Breast cancer awareness. It is October, breast cancer awareness month. Ooh, Mogard, he went out there, Chris. He takes over second position with a 22.013.
Second lap, just a little slower again than the first, and that's been the trend as qualifying comes to an end. So it's going to be Todd Sargent as the pole sitter for tonight's event. Rick starting on the pole tonight. It's going to be the 87 of Todd Sargent, and to his outside, Jared Mogard in the 00. Starting inside, row number 2, last week's winner, the number 20 of Justin McDuff and Calvin Allison in the 28 to his outside. On the inside of row number 3, it's going to be the 17 of Tommy Haynes with the 10 of Jack Wells to his outside. JJ Garrett picking up a 7th place starting spot in his number 35, and to his outside, Stephen Page in the 1. Starting in 9th spot tonight, it's going to be the 18 of AJ Hamill with Matthew McLean in the 88 to his outside. And starting in 11th spot, Rick, the 25 of Douglas Hess, and Keith Dunn starts in 12th spot outside row number 6 in the 03.
And starting out in row number 7, it's going to be the number 9 in 13th position, Jamie Christensen. Next to him is going to be the 81 of James McIntyre Jr. starting 14th in that Ford Mustang. Row number 8 is going to consist of the 26 of Dale Albright and the 57 of Adam Pettit. In row number 9 in the 17th position, the 24 of Dalton Tucker under a new paint scheme this week, Chris. Next to him is Josh Mayhew in that 02, going to be starting 18th. Starting grid row number 10, it's going to be the 95 in 19th position. That's Charlie Widner. Bruce Potter in that 59 machine, going to be starting 20th. In row number 11, that's going to consist of the 74 of Wesley Whitfield in 21st and Doug Wysocki in the 45 and 22nd. And that's going to round out the field, my friend.
All right, as these guys are heading around this famed track, The Rock. Todd Sargent leading the way.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
Yeah. Pace car getting set to come on down pit road. And Todd Sargent has control of the field. And green waves in the air. The 00 with a good restart. No, not a restart, just a start. So good, in fact, he launches himself to the lead going into turns 1 and 2. Coming off the backstretch, the 00 of Mogard, your race leader.
And he wasted no time, Chris. I mean, that outside lane very, very strong at the start there. I mean, these guys, as the track gets rubbered in a little bit, we're going to see guys moving around. But Mogard doing a really good job. Todd Sargent's kind of like, wait, what? So he'll get back up there. Sargent's good racer, Chris. Right there in 3rd place. Allison in that number 28 machine sitting there in 3rd. McDuff is sitting in 4th in that 20 machine. Rounding out that top 5 is 17 Tommy Haynes.
JJ Garrett right behind him in the 35. Garrett trying to find some early speed here. Didn't have the week he was looking for out of Bristol last week, Rick. Garrett not able to complete that race, but I have actually been on this track with him before. He likes this track, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what the 35 does, Chris. I mean, like you said, not the week that he wanted. Bristol's always tough, man. I mean, it's a short track, a lot of door banging. Now these guys can open these cars up just a little bit more, have some fun out here on the Rock. AJ Hamill there in the 18th. He's kind of hanging out behind Fluffy Garrett there, kind of by himself, but he's got a gaggle of cars behind him, and that's going to start out with Steve Page in that number 1. Page was able to get around the 06 on my screen. It shows, well, on the car it shows 06, but on my scoring screen it's 10. But Jack Wells doing a good job. Dalton Tucker sitting there rounding up top 10 right now, Chris, that 24 machine.
And Dalton Tucker really working his way forward. He's got the 88 of Matt McLean behind him. Douglas Hess in 12. Jamie Christensen started 13th here tonight, still in 13th. And that number 9 car behind him, Keith Dunn in the 03. Adam Pettit in the 57. Sitting in 15th spot, James McIntyre Jr. in the 81. Running in 16th position. Behind them, it's Charlie Widner in the 95. Running in 17th spot, Doug Wasaki has that pink on the roof. Thank you, Doug.
I like it.
He's running 18th spot. Dale Albright running in 19th, and Bruce Potter rounds out the field. Wes Whitfield and Josh Mayu did not start this one, and Jared Mogard took advantage of the start of this race and was able to get around Todd Sargent. And Mogard pulling away. Calvin Allison has been able to get around Sargent. Allison trying to catch the back bumper of Mogard. Todd Sargent, your pole sitter tonight, sitting in 3rd spot with McDuff behind him. J.J. Garrett's moved up in the 5th spot. So top 5 has changed. I want to go ahead and thank everybody for coming out to the Turn 3 Racing Network. You're watching the National Speed Association, presented by V-Speed. And here comes the 17. That's Tommy Haynes. Haynes with a good run on the inside, able to hold that momentum and takes the spot away from Garrett. Garrett falls back to 6th spot. Haynes into the top 5. And he is bringing A.J. Hamill along for the ride. Hamill starting to catch the back bumper of the 35. And not before the 24 of Dalton Tucker catches Hamill. Tucker to the inside.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but Tucker just hit the afterburners, man. He gets around A.J. Hamill in that 18 machine. Now the 24, he's moving up. He's sitting in 7th position, trying to catch up to Fluffy Garrett right now in the number 35. Chris, got a little bit of work to do, but I wouldn't count out Mr. Tucker at all.
Up front, it is the 00 of Jared Mogard. He's getting caught by Allison. Allison is really taking a bite out of that lead that Mogard had.
Yeah, Allison out here, he started in the 4th position, Chris, and he's just been moving up ever since the green flag dropped. And right now, like you said, catching up to the back bumper of that 00. I think within about a half a lap or so, we're going to see these guys start really battling it out. The 28 really wants to get up into that number 1 position. And I think right now he's got the car to do it because he's pretty fast.
Mogard has led all 12 laps that we've completed so far. We're working on lap number 13, and the 28 of Allison is right there. He stays down low, maybe trying to take a peek at the start-finish line. Has a bumper inside. So going into turn 1, Calvin Allison looking for the lead, and he has got it, Rick. Relatively on challenge for Mogard.
No, it's kind of hard. I mean, Mogard on that outside lane, Chris, he's got to be careful that he doesn't slip up towards that outside wall. In turns 1 and 2, you get that nice little shade area. Keeps that track a little cool there. They're able to really pour it on, and that's exactly what Allison did there. He was able to get around, like you said, pretty much uncontested. Now, if Mogard was, I think, smart, I think what he would do, Chris, is maybe just race it out there for a little bit. Try to save those tires as much as he can. Let Allison burn them up. They don't want to race around too much because that's going to allow the 87 of Todd Sargent, who's sitting in 3rd position, to really catch up. Right now, he's about almost a second behind Mogard.
Todd Sargent, though, knows how to get around this track, and that proof was in the pudding for qualifying. Justin McDuff, last week's winner, sitting in 4th spot with Dalton Tucker getting around Tommy Haynes for 5th spot. The 24 machine on a mission.
Yeah, Mr. Tucker, I don't know what's going on, but Chris and I both checked out Trading Paint just to make sure to see what was going on. But your car is showing up white, so I don't know if you dropped the Napa know-how or what, man, but it looks like you know how to get around this track here tonight. You're doing a good job. Dalton Tucker started here tonight in 17th position. Chris worked his way all the way up to the top 5 with the 17 of Haynes. He's not giving it up, man. He wants to get back up there.
So AJ Hamill behind Haynes in 7th spot. And then it's Matt McLean, Stephen Cage. AJ Garrett rounding out the top 10. Garrett was just passed by Page in the 1. So Garrett starting to find himself slipping backwards. Doug Hess behind him in the 25, and Hess looking to maybe try and break into that top 10 here early on as we're on lap 19 of 150. .25 looking on the bottom side of the 35, leaning on him, and Doug Hess able to get around. And a big wiggle out of 25. Shoots him down to the bottom side of the track. 35 takes advantage. Goes back to the inside. Takes that position back. So Garrett back in the top 10. Here comes Jack Wells. I'm not positive, but I think the 25 may have given the spot back because he didn't like the way he passed, and they did kind of rub up on each other. So Doug Hess trying to work back into the top 10, has to figure out a different way to do it. Pretty respectful right there. Meanwhile, Jack Wells in the 06, maybe making Hess kind of pay for that as he goes down to the bottom side and has that very nice line into turns 1 and 2. He's got a fender in there. And now they're heading side by side and can't hold on to it, so he moves back in line. Hess drops down. Jack Wells has to figure it out again. Well, Calvin Ellison now has led 10 laps. He was able to catch and pass Mogard. He is your race leader. Jared Mogard sitting in 2nd spot. Todd Sargent holding on to 3rd. A good run from Sargent so far tonight. Justin McDuff sitting in 4th. Dalton Tucker, 5th spot. We haven't talked about points yet tonight, Rick. I'm going to go ahead and bring them up because it is Dalton Tucker on the top of the point standings. Jared Mogard, your current 2nd place runner, running 2nd in the points. Chris Stump, not on track tonight, running in 3rd, so he's going to take a hit. Todd Sargent, running 3rd right now, is 4th in those point standings. Widner, Mayhew, McIntyre, Justin McDuff, Matt McLean, and Steve Page rounding out the top 10. So there's definitely some room to shake the points up a little bit here tonight.
Well, that's going to be the real interesting thing to see what happens there. I mean, obviously, Tucker's been pretty dominant so far through the season. Chris Warner, caution.
Caution on the track. Maybe AJ Hamill.
Ooh.
We're going to go back and take a peek. We're watching AJ Hamill, driver of the number 18. Oh, comes off the corner sideways. Hard impact to the inside retaining wall. And comes down and does it again to try and stay out of the track. So AJ Hamill having to take a tow. And he is on pit road. Showing 1 lap down right now. McIntyre Jr. showing 4 laps down. Have had one other driver retire, and it was Dale Albright in the number 26. He'll finish in 20th position. first round of pit stops of the evening have begun.
Yeah, that was a good little test, Chris. Almost 30 laps in. 28. Overshot his pit just a little bit. Had to back up just a little bit. 20 had to do the same thing.
Good battle off the pit road between Mogard and Allison. Mogard ending up taking that spot. So Mogard going to pick up the race lead again. Calvin Allison second, and the 24 of Dalton Tucker coming out of pit road in third spot. Todd Sargent fourth, and Tommy Haynes in the 17 will be fifth. So first caution of the night, AJ Hamill with a self spin ends up into the inside retaining wall. And he is still on pit road. Track temperature right now, Rick, 88 degrees, so it is falling.
Well, the sun's starting to set, Chris. Go down a little bit there. These guys, I mean, that's going to be something that they're going to have to contend with, too, there as it goes on.
Yeah, shadows are definitely getting longer out there on the track. We're on lap 31 of 150. Cars are filing in 2 by 2.
Now, I mean, I know we got to get through tonight, and then we got a broadcast Wednesday, and another one on Sunday. But I'm kind of looking forward to next Monday, Chris, and not only because it's the week of my birthday, but it's because we're going to my favorite track. That's going to be Auto Club.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only really one, well, maybe not one reason, but, you know, I do have my official win in the truck at Auto Club. My driver, Carl Larson, he likes Auto Club. These guys like the green flag, waving. Mogard getting a really good jump, and look at Tucker, Chris. Tucker is just on fire right now. He's like, okay, I'm not going to waste no time, guys. Bristol was not my race last week, and I got to come out here and prove a point. And that's exactly what he's doing right there, man. Look at that number 24.
That thing is moving around this track. Dalton Tucker, very, very fast tonight. Fresh tires definitely helping the cause, but even before then, Rick, he was working his way up through the field. And he's got Jared Mogard right in his way as the 24 moves down across the start-finish line and has the momentum heading into turns 1 and 2. Dalton Tucker looking to take the lead away from Jared Mogard.
Now, you would think that Mogard would have maybe learned something there when Allison worked that inside lane, Chris, and was able to get around him. He just kind of left it open there. The 24 snuck right in. All you got to do is just get a fender in there.
Oh, third place car, Calvin Allison getting a little bit of a pucker moment there, Rick, as he was sideways, able to hold on to it. Loses one position so far, maybe two, as McLean is trying to move the 88 around him, but Calvin Allison was able to hold on to that car and continue on. He picks that spot back up, and at the line, it is Matthew McLean actually in that fourth spot. Now the 28 has a little bit of an advantage on that bottom side. Ooh, the 88 into the wall. These guys flirting with disaster here.
I mean, guys, we're at the Rock. We're not at Darlington, so you don't have to get your stripes. Okay, that's going to be in a couple weeks, so we're going to be heading to Darlington after Auto Club. And we got some really good racing coming up, Chris. We got Dover, ISM. I know you love that track. Michigan. The one I'm looking forward to is the second to last race, Chris. Myrtle Beach. That's going to be fun with these cars, man. We thought Bristol was good. And then, of course, on November 25th, 2019 at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be right here for the championship race with the National Speed Association Killer Pro Series presented by V-Speed at Homestead. That's a fun track, too.
Yeah, it is.
One of your favorites, I know.
We're watching third place. Tommy Haynes getting caught right now by Calvin Allison. Allison recovering from that slip up pretty nicely. And he is moving that thing pretty quick. Matthew McLean comes off in the corner a little slow, giving up a little bit of time and allowing Todd Sargent to catch the back bumper. Allison able to get around the 17 of Haynes, so Allison right back to where he was when he got a little bit loose, Rick. He's back in the third spot.
Well, you know, sometimes those little pucker moments, Chris, they help you regain focus a little bit. I think that's exactly what happened with Allison there, because now he's just on the tear, moving his way back up through.
And the 88, Matt McLean, was looking, just couldn't figure out a way around the 17. Haynes defending this spot. And now the 88 sneaks down. Not enough, though. Can't get there. Still working that bottom side. Oh, gets together with the 17. They both go into the wall. Caution's going to come out. And we saw that one live. But we'll go back and take a look one more time. Caution number 2 of the night, as McLean was looking for the inside of the 17. And right into the rear quarter panel. They both hit the wall pretty hard. 17 was in no man's land, but everybody doing a good job staying off of him. And back onto the track they go.
Yeah, that's really too bad too, because both those guys were having a great night there. A great start to the night anyway. Looks like the 59 Bruce Potter has finally called it a night. He says, okay guys, I'll see you next week.
Jared Mogard coming into his pit stall, makes a good stop there. Todd Sargent stops nicely in his stall. Ooh, Dalton Tucker gonna win the race off from pit road. Tucker,
Man,
so strong here tonight. That top 5 going to be Dalton Tucker, Jared Mogard, Calvin Allison, Justin McDuff, and Stephen Page. Then after that, you've got Doug Hess, Charlie Widner, Jack Wells, Todd Sargent, and Keith Dunn rounding out the top 10. 11 through 15, you've got Jamie Christensen, Doug Wasaki, J.J. Garrett, Adam Pettit, and Tommy Haynes. After him, you've got Matthew McLean, one of the drivers that brought out that last caution. Tommy Haynes, another one of those drivers that brought out that caution. James McIntyre Jr. on pit road, not having a fantastic night himself. 4 laps down right now. in 17th spot. Bruce Potter has called it a night. Right now sitting in 18th. AJ Hamill is still on pit road after that wild ride into the inside retaining wall. Dale Albright, the first car who started tonight, not going to finish in 20th spot. Wesley Whitfield, Josh Mayhew did not make the start.
Now, I'm actually kind of shocked to see the 18 still on pit road, Chris. I mean, I know he hit the wall, but it didn't look that bad there. Of course, AJ, one of the admins here, so maybe he just said, okay, maybe I'm just going to sit it out, head on up to the tower.
Cars are folding in 2 by 2, getting ready to go through 1 and 2. And on to the backstretch. It's Dalton Tucker, Mogart, Allison McDuff, and Stephen Page in the 1.
I'm just excited for that green flag to come out, see what Tucker can do.
Pace car is in working through 3 and 4.
Ricky, not sure if you saw the beginning there of the broadcast, but Mr. Sargent taking the pole here with a blistering speed.
Pace car on the pit road, and Tucker takes off. He is leaving everybody behind. Here comes Calvin Allison, going to try for second spot. Allison on the inside in the number 28, letting it all hang. And the 28 taking position away from Mogard. So Allison.
He's on a mission, man.
Yeah, Allison looking very strong right now. There's a battle for 5th spot between Doug Hess and Steve Page. Page on the outside in the 1, Hess on the inside. And right behind him, Charlie Widner in the 95. 95 taking up that spot on the inside. Widner looking to try and take another spot away from Page. Can't quite do it. Page closes the door in the 87 of Todd Sargent right there. And you're right, Rick. Todd Sargent was the only driver during qualifying that was able to hit a 21-second lap. Everybody else was in the 22s. So he knows how to get around this track.
Yeah, he knows how to get around the track now. Of course, one thing that, when I say that to you, you're like, well, listen, anybody can run a hot lap when you're out there by yourself. Which is true. When you got a bunch of other cars, your line might not be the way that you don't want it to be. I mean, nobody's been hitting that sub 21 at all so far throughout this race, as we see Todd Sargent going around the 95 of Widner.
JJ Garrett goes sideways on the track, and that's going to bring out another caution here on lap number 50. We'll go back and take a peek. Oh, watching the pink and black, the Intima Kitty, heading into turns 1 and 2.
Oh, you gotta love Garrett.
And just comes off from the corner a little bit hot and tries to catch the back end of that car. It just won't have it. Luckily, everybody doing a good job kind of splitting the goalpost there, going around. And JJ comes out of that one relatively unscathed. This is the National Speed Association right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, brought to you by V-Speed. This is their Killer Pro Series. Tonight's race sponsor, Arts Barbershop. And there's a lot of drivers coming down pit road, Rick. They were just down about 8 laps ago. But just under 100 laps to go. You might as well take some fuel, take some tires.
Well, it's one of those things. I mean, you might be sitting out there thinking, okay, track position. Well, you're right. And yeah, we've had a couple of cautions here tonight, but, so everyone's like, oh, there's going to be another caution. I'll stay out on the old tires. Don't need fuel right now, but what happens if you go through a really long green flag run? Then you're gonna wish you came down, topped off on the old Sunoco Racing fuel, got 4 brand new Dr. Feel Goods, and there's no tire limit here with the NSA, so why not?
Hey, you can go at least 8 more laps than the other guys.
Exactly. That's one car I actually miss out here on the good old rock. The old Budweiser number 8. Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Dale Earnhardt Jr., of course. Back when racing was racing.
Pace car lights should be shutting off this time, and then we'll be about a mile away from going back to the green flag. Front rows change. It's going to be Dalton Tucker on the inside in his number 24. Last week's winner, McDuff, has made it up to second spot. Calvin Allison in third, Jared Mogard fourth, and Doug Hess rounding out the top 5. Todd Sargent up to sixth spot, Charlie Widner in seventh. Jack Wells, Jamie Christensen, and JJ Garrett rounding out the top 10. Doug Wasaki just outside of that top 10 in 11th spot. Steve Page, Adam Pettit, Keith Dunn, and Matthew McLean rounding out the top 15. Tommy Haynes 1 lap down in 16th spot. James McIntyre 4 laps down in 17th spot. AJ Hamill still on pit road. '24 of Don Tucker doing something a little bit different this time. He's going to be starting on the outside. It's not a strategy we've seen so far here tonight, Rick. So, the first lap or two, that inside line can really hold on and foot down. So he's almost opening the door a little bit for McDuff to try and get around him.
Well, this whole strategy worked for Mogart at the beginning of the race, Chris, because he started there in second position. Was able to just take off and go.
Back to the green flag we go. And the 20 looks like he spun the tires a little bit on the shift.
Yeah, J-Mac there. I don't know if it was spinning the tires or just missed a shift there, but he is in deep trouble right now, sitting in 5th position. Finally got that thing going. But holy cow.
Mogard down to the inside. Mogard looking to try and take the lead away from Dalton Tucker, and does, and Allison following him through. Calvin Allison taking over second spot at 24, back to third.
And just a little bit of these guys' racers. Look at there, Todd Sargent sitting there in 4th position.
Very eventful restart to this one. Allison leads Mogard leads his 20th lap. Mogard, Allison Tucker, your top 3. Todd Sargent back up into the top 4. Justin McDuff. That was a wild restart out of McDuff, Rick. It looked like when he shifted, maybe he was up in the power band just a little too far, because those rear tires started to spin just a little bit. He was able to collect it back up, but not before losing a couple of spots.
That's one thing iRacing has been working on build after build, Chris. I mean, they came out with the new clutches, so, it's easy to miss a shift or miss shift and lose some power or gain some power. It all depends on how you really look at it. When it happens there, but you can actually stall your car out now on a restart. So these guys got to think about that. I mean, it used to be you just drop it down in the second gear, and when that green flag drops, you just go. But not no more. You got to be careful. Right now, Mogart is leading the pack here tonight at the Rock, Chris. Calvin Allison in that number 28 machine working on trying to get up back up to the 00. So he's sitting in second. Dalton Tucker He restarted back here on the number 1 position, but sitting in third right now, Todd Sargent, Justin McDonough rounding out that top 5. Douglas Hess, Widner, JJ Garrett, Wells, and Christensen rounding out that top 10.
Yeah, I've been watching the 88, Rick. That's Matt McLean. McLean with a little damage to the front of the 88, but doesn't seem to be slowing him down too much. He is trying to work his way back up through the field right now, sitting in 13th spot. Doug Wysocki a little quiet tonight in his 45. He's sitting in 14th position. Nice addition to his paint job, throwing the pink roof on there in honor of breast cancer awareness, the Susan G. Komen Foundation. And Adam Pettit, the 57. He's the last car on the lead lap, running in 15th position.
The 17 of Tommy Haynes. He is the first car 1 lap down, sitting in 16th position right behind him. That is Jimmy McIntyre Jr. in that number 81 machine. He's kind of rounding out the field because in the 18th position, Bruce Potter in that number 59 called it a night. AJ Hamill hit that wall there earlier at the beginning of the race there, Chris. Sitting on pit road now, probably admitting the race is what I'm guessing. Sitting there 38 laps down right now, 19th. Dale Albright calling it quits early. He's about 45 laps down, and then you got Wesley Whitfield in the 74, Josh Mayhew in the 02. Did not start here tonight.
Well, taking a peek at the leaders, Mogard still up front. Calvin Allison trying to figure out a way to catch the back bumper. The 24 of Dolan Tucker unable to kind of catch these guys back up right now. So Tucker, while he was coming through the field and he eventually did lead some laps, Rick, right now not the fastest driver on track. In fact, right now, let's see, Allison is got the fastest lap of the race so far, back on lap number 48. Ran a 22:027. Right now, he is just trying to catch the leader. Mogard throwing it down towards that yellow line, trying to defend position.
Well, positions 1 and 2, Chris, only about 16 laps on their tires. You go back to third position, that's Dalton Tucker in the 24 machine. 24 laps on that stint on tires right there. So it doesn't sound like a lot, folks, but it really is. Especially here at Rockingham. This surface is so worn. It is sharp, it just digs and eats. If I remember correctly, this track and Darlington, 2 of the older ones, that haven't had a resurface in quite a few years, especially the Rocks, because they stopped running here for a little while, but it is on its way back. Got some new owners. Those folks are doing some good jobs and bringing all kinds of events there, trying to get NASCAR back to the Rock.
NASCAR needs to have tracks like this, Rick.
This, I mean, you know, Dale Jr. is really big too. I mean, a lot of people don't know, but he actually helped fund a little bit of iRacing when they came over from Papyrus. And rumor has it, North Wilkesboro is another one that NASCAR needs another track like that, or to revamp that and come back. But they're working on trying to get that bad boy scanned.
Take a check in on the 20 of Justin McDuff, and Justin sitting in 5th spot. Nobody in front, nobody behind, just out there by himself, logging laps. Back to Doug Hess, kind of in the same situation.
That's the thing with a track like the Rock, Chris. You're going to see that. It's going to spread out. You're going to get guys who can run this thing, you know, worn tires and all. You're going to get other ones that want to be a little conservative. You have guys out there just maybe not racing a lot on this track, so they're just out there trying to learn it a little bit. But right now the field's a little spread out there. We got the 95 of Widner. He's actually looking at trying to catch Doug Hess right now in that 25 position and try to take over 6. He's bringing Christensen with him in that 9 machine.
Widner taking a look to the inside of the 25, takes position away. Does it relatively easily. Here comes the 9 trying to get to the inside. Jamie Christensen trying to take that spot away from Hess. Couldn't get there. Now he goes up really high, and that's going to allow the 35 of J.J. Garrett to start reeling in Christensen. So good battle right here in mid-pack. 35 taking it down to the low side through turns 3 and 4. May have come down below that yellow line just a little bit, scrubbing a little speed off. Falls back behind the 9 of Christensen.
Yeah, that yellow line will get you every time.
Jamie Christensen starting to separate himself from Garrett just a little bit, trying to catch the back bumper of Doug Hess in the 25. Every once in a while, I see Hess step out a little bit. So his car a little bit loose for him.
A little bit loose and maybe just, yeah. I was just going to say, just pushing just a little bit.
Buffy starting to catch the back bumper of Christensen again. So he has reset his number 35, trying to figure out a way around the 9. Ooh, 9 comes off the corner squirrely. 35 moves down to try and stay out of the way. Moves down a little too far. He was under the yellow line for just a moment. That's going to back him up. Meanwhile, up front, Hess looking to try and get back around Widner. Hess has the inside line way tight. Has to get out of the throttle. Ooh, 25 going around. And J.J. Garrett as well. The 25 up on the roof. Caution coming out.
Yeah, Hess not in a good spot right there.
Ooh, big time. We'll go back, take a peek. So watching the 25 of Hess, he gets very, very close to Widner. And I don't know, hit a bump or something in the track, and then over he goes. Meanwhile, while that was happening, we'll go back again and watch Garrett. I'm not sure exactly what happened to Garrett. I mean, it happened at the same time. I don't know if he saw it ahead of him and thought he was going to have to hit the... Oh, no, he was loose before. Comes down into the wall hard. And that brings out another caution.
I mean, I know this track's old, but man, I don't know. It's almost like he hit Hess hit an invisible wall or something, just bounced that 25 up.
Yeah, it was weird.
I mean, it could be maybe a little net code there, racing with the 95 so close. Maybe iRacing thinking that the cars touched there and made it bounce a little bit. I don't know. That one's a tough one.
Good battle off of pit road. Mogard, Allison Tucker. Todd Sargent, Just McDuff.
Yeah, that's almost what it looks like, Chris. They got kind of a cool angle, and that's exactly what it looked like. A little net code. I mean, they definitely did touch, but thinking that might have been a little part of it there. Not sure what happened in Fluffy. I think, like you said, he just saw it, so he kind of tried to avoid or. But one guy that did not want to see this caution come out, it's that guy that's leading the race right there. That's the 00, Jared Mogard. That beautiful eye power. Chevy Camaro. I like that back. Are you ready? Second one person who was ready though is Calvin Allison. The Rock putting on some exciting racing here tonight at the National Speed Association. Ladies and gentlemen, the lights on the pace car are off right now. We're working on lap 85 of 150. That means about 66 laps. Now, I did go to school in Milton, Vermont, so I'm not too smart, but I'm pretty sure it's 66 laps. Do my Common Core math here. Bring that over, divide that by 17. I don't know why, but that's what the textbook says. These guys getting ready to get it done once again. Mogard working there. He's going to be restarting there on the inside. On his outside is going to be the 28 of Calvin Allison. The next row, you got the 24, Dalton Tucker, Todd Sargent, tonight's pole winner. The 87 Fantasy Labs Toyota Camry. Getting ready to start it up in fourth. Justin McDuff in the 20, rounding out that top five. Next to him is going to be Charlie Widner in the 95 machine. The pace car is off, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready to go. 00 Mogard. He takes off and takes off good. He got a really good restart there. Kind of left Dalton Tucker going, huh? Where'd you go? And poor Calvin Allison, he's down in the fourth position. Todd Sargent able to get around. Man, that was a great restart.
Yeah, excellent restart with a lot of action out there. Lap number 87 of 150. Jared Mogard continues to put on a good show here tonight after leading 50 laps so far. Watching Todd Sargent in third spot. Calvin Allison behind him. McDuffin rounding out the top five. These two drivers up front, Rick, they've been battling back and forth all season long.
Well, you're absolutely right, Chris. I mean, it seems like every race, it's the 00, the 24, they're working. Todd Sargent's working his way up through the field. But man, I don't know, Mogard, he might have something on Tucker tonight.
Yeah, 00 looking good out there. Not to take anything away from Tucker at all, because he has worked his way through the field. I mean, he did it the hard way coming up through the field, and now that he's up here, he's kind of just running, getting some laps on. Todd Sargent, third spot. Calvin Allison, fourth spot. Fifth spot belonging to Justin McDuff. Sixth spot belongs to the 95 of Charlie Widner, excuse me. Jamie Christensen sitting in seventh spot. Steve Page in the one car in eighth position. The 06 of Jack Wells And then Keith Dunn in the 03 rounding out the top 10. And Matt McLean is right there, though. McLean looking to try and get back in the top 10 after suffering some early damage.
You know, this is almost like deja vu of last week, Chris, there. Get the 20 and J-Mac, he's out there sitting in fifth position. These guys are going to start racing it out there ahead of him. And that's exactly what happened last week at Bristol.
Ooh, big blink out of the 88. Really big blink. Now back out on track. So tough to drive and pass and try and pass somebody who is blinking. It really does throw you for a loop, and the 88 losing a lot of ground on track because of it. Mogard and Tucker up front. Kind of pulling away a little bit from Todd Sargent in third. Sargent has about a half a second gap between himself and Allison right behind him. And it's a 2-second gap back to Justin McDuff.
Yeah, the field's starting to spread out there just a little bit.
We've got a battle going on for 7th spot between Steve Page, Jamie Christensen, and the 9. Page trying to catch the back bumper of the 95 of Widner. And Jamie Christensen right to the back bumper of the 1. Page maybe finding himself under attack a little bit. And in the next lap or two, the 9 looking racy. These cars nose to tail. That's 6th, 7th, and 8th spot. Widner, Page, and Christensen. And Widner starting to pull away a little bit. So what was a battle for 3 positions may now just be a battle for 2 as the 1 gets really loose coming off the corner. Jamie Christensen is going to try and capitalize on that, but can't do it on that outside lane. Guys continuing to race it out as we're on lap 103 of 150. Laps to go.
Yeah, I mean, the laps have been ticking down quite fast here as of late, Chris. These guys out there, I don't know, man. Mogard, he's got something to prove out there, but Tucker, he's trying to reel him in, but
yeah, that gap has been relatively unchanged since they got into position on the restart. Third place, Calvin Allison, about almost 2 seconds behind Tucker. Todd Sargent starting to reel him in. So pole sitter tonight starting to find a little late race speed. As McLean coming down pit road. And not only did it come down pit road, but the 88 brought it behind the fence and put it into the hauler, Rick. Another one.
He said, okay, that's enough. He's gonna join JJ Fluffy Garrett, Bruce Potter, Dale Albright. And of course, as everybody knows, Wesley Whitfield and Josh Mayhew did not start here tonight at the Rock. AJ Hamill, he's been out there on pit road. You might as well call him in the hauler, Chris, but right now he's probably just left his car there, told his crew, hey, listen, go on up there, get some chicken sandwich, grab an ice cream, make a couple phone calls. I'm going to head up onto the booth. You just let the car sit there and look good for a little bit. You know, it's pretty amazing, Chris. I'm sitting here, I'm just looking kind of, letting the scenic thing go through there on iRacing and looking at how good iRacing has done with this. Now, obviously, everybody knows that has been around the service that iRacing actually scans all this stuff, tries to get everything looking the way it did the day that they scanned it. And it's just kind of amazing to look back and, you know, see this beautiful facility that NASCAR just let go away, kind of.
Yeah, and for nothing, unfortunately.
You know, I would take this thing and put it in my backyard if I had room.
Hey, you only need, you know, 0.97 of a mile to be exact. And, you know, probably about $40-50 million.
It is. You want that cash or in a check?
You know, just charge me. Steve Page driving number 1 in 6th position right now. Widner starting to catch the back end of Page. Widner is bringing along Keith Dunn and Jamie Christensen. A lot of racing to get through still as we're working the lap 113 of 150. And here comes the 03 of Dunn looking to the inside. Can't get there. Has to back out of it. Jamie Christensen had to do the same. He was going to follow.
He's going to go right to the back bumper there, the 03.
Yeah.
And I love looking through the cockpit with those sun rays, man.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and do that. On board with your race leader, the 00, Jared Mogard. Mogard has about a 1.18 second lead over Dalton Tucker. Mogard getting serious here as we start getting to the close of this race. 36 laps to go. And we cross the start-finish line. Getting ready to head into turn 1. Halfway through, takes it into turn 2 and gets set for the backstretch. Right out towards the wall. Beautiful line so far out of Mogard. Into turn 3, down to the yellow line. You hear him feathering that throttle. Bright sun off from turn 4. And again, past the start-finish line. That was a lap with your race leader, Jared Mogard. And don't look now, but Calvin Allison catching the back bumper of the 24 of Dalton Tucker. Allison's been fast tonight, Rick. He's led 15 laps and looks like he might be getting set to go around the 24, heading into 1. And makes that pass happen. So Allison, among the drivers who are picking up some speed deep into this run, sitting on 35 lap old tires.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chris. And, you know, Ever since we kind of went into the cockpit views, I've been going through the drivers, man, just seeing how different everybody's tackling this track, and a lot of these guys are driving actually pretty aggressive, and it's kind of cool to see this late in the race. They're just making those cars do exactly what they want to do. They're shifting, they're turning, they're fighting that wheel back and forth. Looks like they're having a good old time.
Todd Sargent still a little bit of time to make up. But he, let's see, last time by was actually faster than third place runner Dalton Tucker by just under a tenth of a second. Justin McDuff in fifth spot, and he's losing a bunch of ground now to Sargent. So McDuff just trying to hold on for a top 5 finish here. Go 4 seconds behind him, you'll get to Stephen Page, and just a little bit behind him, it's Keith Dunn. Jamie Christensen still battling it out for position. The 03 holding on to 7th spot, the 9 trying to take it away. They were able to get around the 95 of Widner. So Widner in 9th spot. Jack Wells rounding out the top 10. And Mogard starting to catch the back bumper of the 17 of Tommy Haynes. Tommy Haynes, the last car on the lead lap, but not anymore. As he moves up, Mogard goes around. Calvin Allison trying to close the door a little bit on Mogard. Right now, the gap just 1 second at the start-finish line. Now the 28 works his way around the 17. Oh, ooh, big
And
little.
Allison, yeah. I actually saw that cockpit view. Even I had a pucker moment there for a minute, Chris. I'm not even driving.
He did cost him a little bit of time on the track. Not much, though. About 5/100ths of a second. I think Calvin Allison may be one of the fastest cars on the track right now. Last time by a 23.477. Jared Mogard ahead of him, a 23.505. Dalton Tucker behind him, a 23.561. So yeah, Allison, one of the fastest cars on the track, if not the fastest.
I'm gonna say, if not the fastest. We got another driver that has called it quits, Chris. That is Jimmy McIntyre Jr. Decided to pack his number 81 up and head out for next week. 13 cars out there on track. Doug Hess still out there on pit road. AJ Hamill joining him. He's just sitting there. 102 laps down right now.
One laps to go, and the lead is starting to get a little smaller. 0.7 of a second right now between Mogard and Allison. 19 to go as they cross the start-finish line. 0.6 of a second for Allison to try and make up. This one's going to come right down to the end. He's going to be able to catch him.
I mean, anything can happen there, Chris. I mean, right now the Mogard, he is just on fire, having a good old time out there.
Fourth consecutive lap in a row. Allison, fastest driver on track. Almost 0.2 of a second faster that last lap, and you can see it happening on track. 0.3 of a second is the differential between the 00 and the 28.
I mean, Allison's definitely starting to close in. 17 laps, there's 16 laps. There's still plenty of time.
Now you got to start formulating a way to try and get around your race leader, Jared Mogard. Mogard, aware of the situation, can see him in the rearview mirror now. Now the question to ask is, has Mogard been kind of sandbagging a little bit? Because if that's the case, it's time to go. 15, 14 laps to go. Two-tenths of a second separating top two drivers. With 13 laps to go, the 28 steps out just a little bit. Able to hold on. That's the one thing I've seen out of him a couple of times here tonight. Not afraid to get on that throttle just a little early. Have to be careful at the close of this run. They've been out there for 56 laps, Rick. Those tires are getting old and scorched. And not a lot of weight in that fuel cell anymore either. Oh, what the heck was that?
There's another one of them bumps, man.
I don't. Huh.
I'm going back and looking at the replay. I don't even know.
See if he had damage in the right front before that happened, Rick. That was strange.
Yeah, he just kind of bumped up there, and now iRacing wants to give me fits here.
I don't know exactly what happened. It hasn't happened since.
Yeah, there's definitely no damage on the front of that car at all.
Whatever it was caused damage to the right front. That is so weird.
I mean, he did get into the wall, but something sent that car. That's strange. I don't know what's going on with iRacing right now. His car turned into the wall. Okay, yep, now. Wow, he pancaked the wall.
Okay.
Now that I'm going frame by frame, man, that's crazy.
Seven laps to go as they're entering turns 1 and 2. And the big thing for Allison is when that happened, he lost some time, and it's taken him a little bit to try and catch the back bumper again of Mogard. but he is actually doing it. So the 28 trying to catch the 00 once again.
He's doing a really good amount of damage, but yeah, that was a strange. When I saw it live, he wasn't even close to the wall. He just kind of bounced up.
Yeah, that's kind of what I saw too. So odd. Mogard takes the 5-finger salute from the flagman, indicating 5 laps to go, and Jared Mogard is out front. Allison trying to catch him, but since that incident with the wall has been just a little bit slower.
Just happened to pan the sergeant there, Chris, as he was coming into the turn there. He was on the straightaway from that backstretch and came very, very close to the wall. I was waiting to see if it was going to bounce, but no bouncing there. Nothing like Allison had. Sargent starting out here on the pole tonight, doing a good job. He's still in 4th. Whew.
3
Allison, man,
laps to go.
Yeah, these guys, those tires are shot, man.
Mogard starting to pull back out. Allison trying to do everything he can to make that car go. 2 laps remaining for Jared Mogard in the 00. This time by Mogard taking the white flag as there's just 1 mile left here from Rockingham. Mogard coming out of turn number 2, getting onto the back stretch. He's got Doug Wasaki just ahead of him, won't be a factor. Jared Mogard through turns number 3 and 4. Knows he's very close to winning this race. Checkered flag in the air for the 00. Calvin Allison coming home 2nd spot, and Dalton Tucker will take 3rd. Todd Sargent 4th place tonight, and Justin McDuff going to take 5th. Well, kind of a wild ride here from Rockingham. A couple of cautions and a few kind of unexplained phenomena of jumping cars. Although we did kind of figure out that second one. Happened to Calvin Allison.
I mean, when Hess went around, he was nowhere near the wall there, so I'm not exactly sure what happened. I wish I kind of went back and looked at that and saw, because it did take a couple of times there to see what Allison had to deal with, but man, Rockingham, she's a tough old girl.
Yes, sir. We're going to step away for just a moment, come back, and set up for those post-race interviews. I want to congratulate Jared Mogard once again for the race win, and really fantastic burnout there. We will be right back.
System front bumper, and he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
Gonna pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's gonna get them all done with. What amazing!
Lead to the inside goes Logan Clapton is gonna touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save!
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into 2nd place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
I tried this contact though. Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that 2nd spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe. Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schumacher, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
And we're back getting ready for the post-race interviews. We've got your top 3 ready to go. Let's go ahead and get started with the number 24. It's going to be Dalton Tucker finishing in 3rd spot tonight. Dalton, Chris, and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I got you, man.
Well, bud, you ended up leading 21 laps tonight, but I see some damage on the right front of that car. Was that the one that was slowing you down?
Yeah, I was just pushing a little too hard behind Jared, got into the wall, and after that it just made me tight, and I didn't have any kind of speed after that for him.
Well, at the beginning of the race, you started deep in the field. You worked your way up towards the front. You were up front for, well, the rest of the race, really. So, all in all, a good run for you at 3rd place. Not going to hurt you too bad in the point standings. Anybody on that 24 team that you need to thank tonight?
Just thank my teammates, because after starting deep in the field like that, it's pretty stressful, and they let me keep my cool and just kind of talked me through it. So definitely appreciate them doing that. Just appreciate you putting on the broadcast for us, and I have to go back and watch this one because it was definitely interesting starting that deep and having to work my way to the front.
Yeah, it was really cool to watch you do that, and then there's also a couple of really weird oddities there. You'll see them if you watch the race back. A couple of cars just kind of jumping for some reason. But anyways, yeah, a good run for you, bud. So congratulations on that 3rd place finish tonight.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, that's the driver of the number 24, bringing it home in 3rd spot, Dalton Tucker. Rick, I believe you caught up with the 2nd place finisher, the number 28 of Calvin Allison.
Calvin Allison, you got Rick and Chris up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, what an outstanding race there. Getting in 2nd tonight. You led quite a few laps, too, there. Tell me a little bit about your race.
I think it was the first one I've qualified for this year because I knew track position was pretty important here, and I just tried to take it easy, get out front, and stay clean until, I guess, 10 laps to go. I tried to Bigfoot the wall, and that pretty much let Jared have the win. I was hoping to battle with him, but we raced clean all night, so it was good to see him win.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because when we were watching the broadcast, you weren't really that close to the wall, and you just kind of bounced up there. And when I went back to look at the replay, I definitely saw you get into the wall there just a little bit. But hey, listen, congratulations coming in 2nd. Is there anybody in that 28 team that you need to thank tonight?
Yeah, just thanks to my JCR teammates and Jamie for painting my beautiful hot rod, and thanks to y'all for the broadcast. I really enjoy watching them.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you. Congratulations, and go down and celebrate and get ready for next week.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
That was the 28, Calvin Allison, bringing it home in 2nd spot, and that leaves us with just one more driver to talk to. A very close to flawless night here out of the 00. He led 114 laps. He had the fastest lap of the race back on lap 87 with a 21.908. He's just one of 2 drivers that were able to crack that 22-second time mark. Him and Dalton Tucker were the only 2 during the race. We're talking about the 00, Jared Mogard. Jared, Chris, and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you. You guys got me?
I sure do, but hey, listen, number 1, congratulations, bud. Very, very good race for you. Like I said, leading 114 laps, including the most important one of the night, that last one. You had Calvin Allison kind of coming up on you, and he was coming pretty fast, and then all of a sudden got into the wall a little bit. Before that happened, did you think that he was going to have enough to get around you?
Yeah, he was coming at a pretty good rate of speed there. Once we went green off that last restart, I was on it, and I don't think I've driven a car that hard for that long and held on to win it because, I just had to be on it there with Dalton because he's pretty fast. So we were going hard, and I think we might have went a little too hard because Calvin was coming there, and yeah, he got the wall with 5 to go, and luckily for me, that was enough to hold on.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, you had a fast car, one of the fastest cars out there all night long, and it shows by the laps led. And man, you had a great race. So congratulations there. Anybody on the 00 that you need to thank tonight?
Yeah, thank you. It feels really good to finally get one here on Monday. It's been kind of a tough season for us, but it feels good to finally get it. First, I thank iBuyPower Computers, Twitch Race Reports, and all the guys on MLS.RN. Jack, congrats on the top 10 there for him. So it was a good night for the team. Shout out to all the fans that might be watching. I don't know if they're still watching or not, but if they are, shout out to the fans that tuned in. And yeah, we'll look at them next week.
All right, bud. Well, listen, congratulations once again, bringing that thing home and receiving the checkered flag for the night. It was a hell of a race for you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
And that was the 00 of Jared Mogard. And that's going to wrap it up here from Rockingham Speedway, Rick. A good race, and we look forward to coming back next week right here on a Monday night.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. Tonight was a good race, too. So, these guys, they had a tough one tonight, man. The Rock, they beat up some people. Other ones couldn't touch them. So good job to Mogard, and congratulations. Allison Tucker, Sargent had a good race. McDuff, Keith Dunn. Everybody was out there having fun, man.
Yeah, a lot of fun to watch. And thank you guys for tuning in right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You've watched the National Speed Association, brought to you by V-Speed and Arts Barbershop tonight on board. If you're in and around middle of Vermont, central Vermont, Morrisville, and you need a little bit of a clip, check out Arts Barbershop. And Rick, that's going to do it for us tonight, bud. You have yourself a good one, as to all of the fans out there on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Thank you, and good night.